What's going on, everybody? Good morning. I'm sorry to you. If you're watching right now, you're watching the playback. Want to say good morning to you. Welcome to another episode of Good Trouble. If you don't know what Good Trouble stands for, it is a podcast conversation that we came up with here at Voorhees with our CPI ambassadors and career pathways to make sure that we're sharing engaging, thought-provoking, and educational information. So if you've been watching any episodes prior, then you know that we always bring some guests on. And I'm not sure if you've been able to see this guy before, but he's a very phenomenal and impactful leader. So I won't take too much more of his time because I'm sure he's a busy man. So I'm Demetrius Dew. I'm the coordinator of experiential learning here at Voorhees. But we want to go ahead and introduce our speaker and our guest for today. Devaunte, please let the people know who you are if you don't mind.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Devaunte McKee. I'm a senior majoring in biology, and I'm currently the 2020-2021 Mr. Homecoming, and I serve as the pole mark of the Epsilon Omega chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. And it's been a pleasure, man, being here at Voorhees College. Not only did I choose Voorhees College, but Voorhees College chose me.
Ooh, that's you starting out pretty strong, Devaunte. I like that. Not only did you choose it, but it chose you. So let's jump right into it for those that are watching. And they may be saying, Devaunte, you're a biology major and we want to know about your career. So let's talk about that for a minute. Let's start at the beginning of your journey. Since you've been at Voorhees, I'm sure you've been a part of a lot of stuff already, right? So yes. What will be probably the first thing that you can kind of think of that you were a part of, and why did you be a part of
it? The first thing that I actually did to get me involved at Voorhees was I became an RA, and I worked under the head RC. Mm-hmm. And the reason I did that was because her name is Miss Jameson. She was a really phenomenal lady. Like, she just stayed on her job so much. So she eventually offered me, to work up under her for like a little work study. And she just taught me so much.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So with your major in biology, that's a very, very tough major. Is something probably that people run from, right? Biology is not something that people probably usually want to stay in. A lot of people. So tell us what or who inspired you to be in biology? Was it your mom, people at home, or is it something that you want to do just to impact the community? What made you want to be a biology major?
Honestly, the thing that made me choose to become a biology major is actually my mother. She actually wanted to go to school to become a veterinarian, and she never got to accomplish that dream. So growing up and seeing how happy she was, helping local animals or going to the pound, like, and helping out, like, that just really motivated me. Like, when I first got to school, I actually wanted to be a veterinarian. But as I dug a little more into, like, myself, I found out that I wanted to become a cardiovascular physician assistant. So I would definitely have to say my mom.
Wow. So a cardiovascular physician assistant. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of syllables in there. I almost tripped up, but I made it through. So you want to be a cardiovascular physician assistant. So tell me this, because I know that we have a lot of things going on in our community with maybe mental health and physical health. Is there anything in particular that comes to your mind when you think about biology that you particularly want to assist our community with?
Yeah, my main goal really to become a cardiovascular physician assistant is to pair up with another African-American cardiovascular physician, and we go to business and open our own clinic where we'd be able to educate Black people, on why you're having these heart problems, why you're having these blood pressure problems, because African-Americans are one of the number one races to suffer from those problems.
Wow. So let's fast forward just a little bit. So let's talk about you being interested in being a cardiovascular physician assistant, now getting an internship at one of the best places, top-notch places in South Carolina, MUSC. That's something that, you just can't be a fly-by-night to try to get in, but you, Devaunte, were able to get an internship there. How did that come about?
It actually came about, I want to say last year, we went to the HBCU Talent Showcase in Columbia. Okay. And I remember Mr. Hickman stayed on me, like,
Make sure your resume look good. Make sure your cover letter all there together. Make sure it's all there.
So I did that. We went out there, and I actually ran into a man by the name of Philip Griggs, who was working as a recruiter for MUSC. And
Okay.
gave him my resume. He really liked it, so we kept in contact. And so eventually, he had told me to complete the application. I got in, and from there, it was amazing, man.
Wow.
It was amazing.
So after your application process, so first let's give a shout out to Mr. Hickman, because you said he stayed on you with your resume and cover letter. And those that are watching, you students that may not have that, please visit Career Pathways. You can visit the Career Services. Mr. Mayers will be able to help you and assist you with your resume. But Devaunte, you said you did all of that, and then you got a position with the guy that was available. So tell us about your experience after you actually got hired or the process started. How was that experience? Did you guys go through any mentors, hands-on training? How was that?
Yeah, the particular internship I did was called Student Mentors for Minorities in Healthcare, and basically what that was we'd go down to MUSC and we'd have these sessions. We got paired up with mentors. They'd be telling us, what to look for, like when we actually get into the field, when we start doing clinicals. They even taught us some ways, like when we get in there, that we won't get so burnt out, like overwhelmed when we have such a huge workload.
Yeah.
And they were actually just teaching us, how to get ready to become a physician assistant. And we one cool thing that I think we learned about this new system that should be coming out around the United States pretty soon, called telehealth. And what that is instead of you going to the doctor and running up a high bill, they'd have you on a call with about, let's just say, 10 other doctors, and they'd go ahead and all diagnose you, rather than, you might think you've sprained your ankle, and they all might go by the excuse me.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
They might go by the different symptoms that you have, and rather than send you to that doctor, they'd save you a lot of money. So that's something we would be looking forward to. They said it should be getting in colleges, high schools, middle schools. So we should see that a lot more to come.
Got you. So let me ask this question. If you had a student that's maybe like a freshman biology major or a sophomore, and they're like, I don't know what an intern, but I heard Devaunte say MUSC, what would be your encouragement to them about starting that process and now possibly pursuing an internship with MUSC?
I personally would say, like I mentioned before, I myself would reach out to CPI, because they're going to get you ready for everything that you need. Like you need a strong resume, you need a strong cover letter, and they're going to get you exactly where you need to be. They're going to teach you all the things that an employer is looking for, and just as if you were going to apply for that job, like that, the same rules apply for the interview too. So I would say, be yourself, take constructive criticism, and like I said before, make sure you work with CPI.
Yeah, no. That's great. That's great information. So not only have you been helped and mentored by CPI, but you've been afforded some opportunities to work in CPI, right? So let's go down your tenure of working with CPI, because I know you've done some things in the pandemic where you've been able to engage with students and kind of be like the spearheader of a couple of projects. So let's talk about your experience working with CPI. How's that been?
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing, man. Like now that I've been working with CPI, I'm now able to reach out to other students and help them figure out stuff that they need to do to get along their career journey. So like now, the different systems that CPI's come out with, like Synoptics, like dealing with you, Mr. Do. I've become a professional at Synoptics. Like I've helped countless students set up their account, and there's still more to come. So it's been amazing working for CPI.
So Synoptics is important, not only to be knowledgeable about what's going on in the platform, but knowing that your experiential learning, right?
Yes, sir.
And talking about the vastness of that. So let's talk about experiential learning for a minute. When that comes to your mind, what is the simple definition, Devaunte, that comes to your mind when you think about experiential learning?
Oh, when I think about experiential learning, well, let me restart it. A lot of people overthink experiential learning.
There we go.
All experiential learning is learning by doing.
There we go.
And experiential learning, it doesn't have to just be internship. It could be, like volunteer work, it could be student research, it could be different stuff. Like, so experiential learning is not all based on internships. It can be multiple things. So like I said before, it's just learning by doing.
There you go. I like the answer. Let's go to this question next. I know that for you, being a leader is extremely important. With all of what you said that you wanted to carry out with your mom, with this internship, with multiple programs, I know that being a leader is so important for you. So tell me, how did the position come about as being the president? Sorry, the pole mark, and you be able to give that extended title better than I can of your chapter. Tell us about that. How did that come about? What made you become interested? Tell us about that experience.
Okay, so basically, what made me become interested in becoming the pole mark of my chapter, I can't lie, I really love my chapter. So when I first joined the Epsilon Omega chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, I started out as the keeper of records and the keeper of exchequer. And one of my good brothers, his name was Caleb Briggs. He was the current serving pole mark when we first got on. And like, I just liked all the hard work that he did, like the networking and stuff. So once I knew he was getting ready to graduate, I just talked to him. He gave me a couple of pointers and everything to help me be the best pole mark that I can be.
Oh, wow. Wow. So how many positions have you had in there?
I've had several. I've been the keeper of records, the keeper of exchequer, the pole mark. I was actually the MTA chairman, that's the membership intake program. And I was the guide right.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
I've held several positions in our chapter.
That's a lot of roles. And I'm sure that all these roles have prepared you to now run for Mr. Homecoming. Mm-hmm. When you ran for Mr. Homecoming in a pandemic, let's talk about that. You running for Mr. Homecoming in a pandemic. How was that experience? What had to go into you running for this position? I'm sure you had to stir up some creativity, motivation. I mean, just a willingness to really get through it. How was that experience? What in the world made you run for that in a pandemic?
Okay, yeah. So actually, with my campaign, my slogan was, "With consistency comes success." And I just
wait. You got to say that one more time. You just can't leap from that. You got to say that one more time, Devaunte.
I said my campaign slogan was, "With consistency comes success."
I like that.
And the reason I chose that slogan, because I not only ran for Mr. Homecoming, but I ran for Mr. Voorhees as well.
Okay.
And I didn't win. So that just gave me, after that loss, I was just like, oh man, like I was really hurt about it. But I was like, hey, can't give up yet. Like it's a reason I didn't win. So I eventually ran for Mr. Senior.
Okay.
I lost Mr. Senior too. So I'm just like, wow, like maybe it's just not for me. It's just not meant for me to win anything. So eventually, like homecoming time was coming around, and it was my chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. It was going to be our 50th anniversary. So I'm like, yeah, man, that's the reason. That might be why I didn't win these positions. And so I put two and two together. With consistency comes success. So I went ahead and ran for that position, and I worked a little harder. I campaigned like 3 times as hard. So, yes, sir. So that's what drove me to become Mr. Homecoming.
Oh, that's so much. It's so much meat and potatoes in that. You said that you campaigned 3 times. This is good. You campaigned 3 times as hard running for Mr. Homecoming than you did when you started running for Mr. Voorhees. So would you say what went through your mind running for Mr. Voorhees? Did you think that it was going to be a little bit easy, or like what kind of went into your mind? Because you said you did it like 3 times harder now, so I can only imagine the evolution of Devaunte since then.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? What happened was, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know, I was just so hurt. I guess hurt by the loss. Yeah. So it just told me to, step my game up. And when I tell you my campaign had gotten so hard, like I know I was getting on people's nerves. I was snapping people like 4 times a day, emailing the whole student body like 3 times a day, DM people on Instagram, Twitter. Like I wasn't coming to play with them, Mr. Dude. I had to make sure I won that position because, like I said, it was our 50th anniversary, and I just had to make the headlines for the chapter.
So how does that mentality of with consistency comes success, how does that correlate to your professional life?
I would say that it correlates with my professional life because, like you said, biology is not that's not an easy major.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be up sometimes, and you're gonna trip up sometimes. So I would say with consistent comes success falls in with that because you just can't give up. Like I was telling you about my mentors at MUSC, they was telling us it's gonna come times where you're gonna get burnt out, you're gonna get overwhelmed, you're gonna be like, wow, I got all this work to do, and it's due tomorrow or it's due within the next 2 days, and you just can't give up. You got, like I said, with consistency comes success. So you just have to buckle down, and you got to really be hungry.
Mm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so would you say that that is the reason why you haven't given up in the pandemic? There are so many evident reasons why people should give up. There are so many evident reasons why students should drop out of college because they may feel like they weren't getting the experience that they were getting before. That camaraderie. There's so many evident reasons. And so would you say because of those reasons, those same reasons on the other end, that it's not time for you to give up? You're still hungry.
Still hungry. So yes, sir. I'm gonna be real honest with you. Like, is no way in the world that I would give up. I don't care how hard times get. Like, it's no way in the world I would give up because I have a family, that's backing me up 100%. I can't,
Yes,
like I
sir.
said, I can't let them down. I can't let myself down. So I'm just gonna keep it pushing. I don't care about the pandemic. As long as I can do, then I'm gonna do, Mister Do.
There you go. I like how
Yeah.
you said that. So we're wrapping up and we're coming to the end of this interview, and we have some people watching us. Thank you for tuning in today. And if you even go watch the playback, we thank you for watching. But Devaunte, I think you shared so much uh, information today, so many gems. I want to ask you if you had a senior watching this that that's graduating this semester, but they're in like the crust of it, and it's getting hard. They feel like they're overwhelmed. They're kind of like in that phase that MUSC taught you all to kind of get through. What would be your encouragement and motivation to them that is about to graduate, but they're like, I don't know if I can still push through?
Yeah, I would say, listen, you've came this far. So why give up? You've
Yeah,
come too far to give up. So you just got to buckle down. If it's a workload, then just feel free to break your workload up throughout that week. If you got 20 assignments due by Sunday, hey, if you got to, you want to take a little rest day Monday and you don't want to do any work, you do that. And you do 5 assignments Tuesday, 5 assignments Wednesday, and 5 assignments so forth until they're done. You don't have to sit there and do everything at one time. But, you just got to keep it pushing. That's what I would tell you. You've invested so much in yourself, there's no need to give up. Just be you and do you.
that's a great practical step too, and that's one thing I was going to ask you, but you gave some great advice as far as studying tips, and you were saying break it down into days so that it's not overwhelming, or breaking it down into increments rather, so
Mhm.
that is not overwhelming. Do you have any more studying tips for anybody that's watching?
Uh, I would say for like I know when I first got to Voorhees, like I used to like if I'm sitting in my room by myself, like I probably won't get that much work done. I would say go get you a group of people who actually everybody needs to do work, and you guys group up and do the work. Because I
Yeah,
promise you, you get a lot more work done as a group than just doing it by yourself. Because when you're in your room, you might start your work, but you're gonna end up laying down. You're gonna end up watching TV. So you really just need to go with the group or go somewhere that's not as comfortable as your room and get it taken care of. Like I go sit at Starbucks for like 4 hours when I'm at home just to go knock out some work, and I
yeah,
think that's a big help.
yeah. So definitely finding you an environment, possibly some friends that can kind of hold you accountable and assist with that motivation. So environment definitely matters. All right, so Devaunte, man, we're literally wrapping up now, and just one more question for you before we conclude. If you could give your freshman self, the freshman Devaunte McKee, if you could give your freshman self some advice, what would it be?
Um, I would tell my freshman self to learn to take corrective criticism a little better. be you, and it's okay. Like I would tell my friend myself, don't be so humble. It's okay to brag a little bit about what you've done.
Okay.
So those would be the three things that I would tell my freshman self.
Yeah. It's okay to know how to brand yourself. It's okay to know how to and articulate some of your strong suits. So we got a lot of points in here today. You talking about CPI, MUSC, being an RC, being Mr. Homecoming, being there's so many things. I can't name them all. We have to go back and watch the playback. There's so many things. But you're graduating senior, and what are your plans after graduation? Do you have any things that you maybe apply for that you're looking for to possibly go into? So what are your plans?
Currently, I'm applying to MUSC for the PA program, and I'm
Okay.
also applied to the University of Alabama at Birmingham. So out of those two, I'll be whichever one I hear back first, or whoever offers me the better scholarship, I'll be attending one of those schools for the next 2 years to get my master's in physician assistant, and then hopefully after that, I'll do me a little residency. And like I said, I want to open up a clinic with a Black physician, so hopefully I run into one of those pretty soon.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So we want to thank you again, brother, for coming on the Good Trouble podcast and sharing so much information about the things that you've done, the things that you've accomplished, and basically telling us about your journey. And I believe that there are so many students that are in biology and other majors that will be able to look at this and say, if Devaunte did it, I can. If Devaunte took this route, then I should take a similar route because look at what he's done, right? He's about to graduate and he's going into some promising fields and a very competitive major at that. So I think this is some great information that we have today. Do you have any more words that you would like to share with the Good Trouble podcast before we end today?
I would just like to say thank you guys for having me, and it's been a blessing working with CPI.
Awesome, man. So, hey, everybody will be here again next week. If it's not at 11:30, it'll probably be at 1 o'clock. If it's not at 1 o'clock, it'll be at a time that's feasible for you, Eastern time. So we'll look to see you again next week. Have a great day. Be safe. Wear your mask. Sanitize. Spray Lysol. All of the above. We'll talk to you soon.